So what is going on, everyone? This is Fabi here, and today we're going to play a little bit of BattleForge. Now, I haven't done this in a lot of while, so excuse me if my BattleForge skills have pretty much shrunken since then, but today I'm going to try and actually play with my Dark or Shadow deck, which is something I haven't showed you guys. I went on a buying spree like 2 months ago, and I bought a few decks, and this is one of them. I actually like it a lot, and the strategy actually I use with this deck is I just spawn in around 6 to 8 phase towers, not 6 to 8 phase towers, 6 to 8 Nox troopers along with 3 phase towers, and I usually also use the motivate spell if needed, but not always. And by the way, this is for difficulty 9 PvE or random PvE, and it usually works very well. But I'm going to show you guys a few tricks and what to actually use, because Shadow is not the easiest color to use by any means, and so there's a few neat tricks that you guys can keep in mind whenever you want to play with the Shadow deck, which I hope, or I bet, can actually help you guys improve your gameplay. So now we're actually going to attack the second or the first base actually, and we are going to move our phase towers, which is a really neat feature of the phase towers, and it's probably one of the only reasons why I actually use this T1 tower. There's not really a lot of T1 towers that are awesome. I think Makeshift Tower is another one, but the phase towers from Shadow are really awesome because they can be moved or teleported, and they really help out a lot when it comes to that. But as you can see, this time I didn't use the motivate spell because it was not needed, and because the first base was really easy to defeat, probably because it is Twilight and not Lost Souls. But when you're playing Lost Souls, you really need that power up. I don't even know. You really need that feature of or that spell, actually. That's what I wanted to say. But now I'm actually gonna grab my second orb and my power rails, and I'm going to build a decomposer so I can kill all of my Nox troopers. Now, the reason why I want to kill my Nox troopers is because I have the Harvester in my deck, which is a very expensive card. It is 300 power points, and so I really need all of the power points I can get. And in order for my base not to be like exposed until I get my Harvester out, I usually just leave the phase towers over here so they can defend the base, which works out pretty awesome for me most of the time. And that's the thing. But I don't know what this guy does, but he seems to really be having some trouble over here, so I hope I can help him in a little bit. But till then, I'm actually just going to wait for my power to go up. As you can see, it's around 225, and so, then I'll wait and I'll build my Harvester. And usually with the Harvester, what I like to do is to use Unholy Power along with Life Weaving, which usually does the trick when it comes to making sure my Harvester doesn't get in much trouble when he attacks. And of course I use the Harvester's ability to summon, what are they called, like those small skeletons. I think they're called skeletons, which does help out a great deal. One of the problems with the Harvester is the fact that it cannot attack small troops of enemies as efficiently as something like a pair of archers would. And so the skeletons really come into play when you're trying to attack small troops, as I am trying over here, and then the Harvester can mostly focus on buildings and bigger troops and that kind of stuff, which is pretty nice. And one of the nicer things of skeletons is also that they distract enemies from only attacking the Harvester. They can attack my skeletons as long as they want. They're gonna die after 20 seconds anyway, so just attack them, leave my Harvester alone. I'm happy with that. That's kind of the whole mindset behind that. But now, as you can see, my friend over here, Bestia Dawn, whatever he's called, he's actually helping me, which is a good thing, because when my friend, or the guy who's playing along with me here on random PvE difficulty 9 is not helping me, it's usually a little bit harder, and it's sometimes even not impossible, but I would say like 90% chances I fail at destroying their second base, because especially when it's Lost Souls, it's really hard to defeat the space alone. So having a teammate along with you is a really good thing. Now here usually what I do is I'll keep my Harvester and I'll try to attack the third base with my harvester. If I know that my friend or my buddy or whoever I'm playing with can help me, if he can, then I'll usually just build some ash bomb pyros and kill my harvester. But for now, I think we're gonna go with the what is it called, with the harvester. And of course, I'm gonna help it with life weaving and holy power, and if needed, I'll use the, what is it called? I think I don't have it in the stack. Oh, I do. The Soul Shatter spell, which is actually really cool and really awesome. It always helps me out, and it's a great tier 3 spell. But what I do with this deck is I usually build my third orb, a nature orb, so I can use the healing gardens, and the breeding ground. So if I need to spawn in some ash bomb pyros, I can just, you know, build a breeding ground and do my thing pretty much, and that's kind of the whole mindset behind that. And so now I'm just gonna wait out a little bit to have my orb pretty much built, and then we'll go to attack. As you can probably tell, my buddy over here built this Shrine of War, which is actually going to help me out a great deal now that I'm thinking about it, because I have like 7,500 void power, which is a massive amount, but I think I'm actually going to go to attack right now. I'm also going to build 2 healing gardens here in my base, which are going to mostly help my Lost Spirit ships and Overlord later on in the game. So that's pretty neat. Now I'm actually going to go ahead and use the Soul Shatter spell, because as you can probably tell, my buddy is kind of not really in a rush. He's not really trying to come over here and help. He is coming right now with his Lost Horror, but he's a little bit behind, so I just need some help. And that's the great help. Like, the Soul Shatter is just awesome, because especially if you cast it when your enemies have you know, low health, it triggers that explosion, that huge explosion, because whenever a enemy dies that is under the Soul Shatter effect or Soul Shatter spell, it just creates another explosion and another explosion, and it's like an explosion Christmas kind of thing, and it's awesome. And I would always tell you guys to use the spell when enemies are on the verge of dying, kind of. Not really like dying, but when they're at, like, you know, not maximum health, but medium health, that kind of thing. So now I'm actually going to place a Furnace of Flash over here, and I'm going to build my 4th orb and try and build some of these things, whatever they're called. Lost Spirit ships and Overlords, of course. And now I have my healing gardens over here, and usually what I do with the healing gardens is I'll put them in separate groups so I can just activate the Ritual of Recovery, which is a fancy name, and I actually like it. But also some general tips for Shadow. You guys really need to pay attention when you play with this deck, because it's not just your regular deck which works straight up. Like, I would call Nature the easiest faction or color in this game, because when you're playing with Nature, you always have that second chance, because you can always heal your troops. Especially, like, in the first few bases, you see your troops almost dying. Well, it's no big deal, because you can always cast a spell which regenerates the health of your troops. So you can always go back to where you were before and, you know, have your troops healed. But with this over here, with Shadow and with a few others, you can't really do that. And so now, just as a side note, when you're killing your harvester, make sure to summon the skeletons, because they help you get more power points. So if you guys didn't know that, that's a pretty nice, a pretty neat little tip and trick, which is something that I actually didn't know a few weeks before, but I saw someone do it in the gameplay, so I was happy to see this tip. But yeah, you know, with Shadow, you can't always get the heal you want. Like, there's a few healing spells, but usually what they do is they heal the enemy, or not the enemy, the troop you want to heal, but deal more damage to the nearby troops. And that's not really convenient, and so you always need to make sure that when you're ready to go into battle with Shadow, and especially with Fire, I find, you always need to make sure that you have enough health points and enough troops to make it, because otherwise there's not really a way out. And you really have to play you know, to make sure that you take advantage of the strength of the color you picked. So for example, if you're playing with Shadow, make sure to use all sorts of spells. You know, the Shadow spells are some of the best, I think. For example, Nether Warp and South Shatter, in my opinion, are some of the most incredible spells in BattleForge, and they help me all of the time. And, you know, Shadow is always sort of magic or magical. It is magic oriented, so you have to make sure that you're using it up to the max, and it's a little bit harder to learn than some of the others because there are hidden abilities and that kind of stuff. You know, with nature is always, or almost always, straight up, you always get the healing aspect and some other abilities, but with Shadow, it's always like you have to take second guesses as to what that spell or card does, because there's always hidden either abilities or things that will not make you happy, I guess. But now it's pretty much like the game is pretty much done. If I need a little bit of healing, I'll just use my equilibrium. I think it's called that. I don't really know. And my regrowth, and also if needed, I will use my healing gardens, which I tend to use quite a lot because they don't cost anything and they just help they just heal my troops a little bit, which is what I need most of the time. Other than that, you know, about this deck, as I've said, just make sure you're prepared for a battle. If you're used to nature, you're gonna find this a little bit hard at the beginning. I remember when I first started playing this game, I was super you know, I was looking forward to playing with Shadow, but when I found out that it was that the learning curve was actually quite long, I wasn't really happy about it, and I kind of sold. I think I sold my deck and went back to nature, because nature is always there for you. It's always helping you. It's kind of like the beginner's deck, and I still like to use it sometimes, but you know, it doesn't take that much skill, and it's not like Shadow is 100 times harder. It's just like a twist. It's a different playstyle that you have to get used to in order to prevail at this kind of gameplay and this kind of game style, which is different but at the same time refreshing, so I like it. But yeah, what I also want to say is that I'm sorry for not posting BattleForge gameplays over the past few weeks. I realize I've been posting Call of Duty more than BattleForge, but that's because BattleForge has been a bitch to me over the last few weeks, meaning that it always crashed on me when I tried to open the game. And not only, especially like when playing difficulty 9 random PvEs, I don't know why, but it kicked me out of the game like 5 times, and I was so pissed I didn't want to do any more BattleForge commentaries at that point. And so I just took a little bit of a break, and now I'm back and hopefully posting more gameplays. And also, I got a recommendation from one of you guys, which was to do another troll video, because if you guys are not aware of this, I did a troll video back in the day, 2 months ago, where I tried to play with the tutorial deck on a random PvE 9, difficulty 9 match, and try and win with that. So another guy actually suggested me to do something similar, but play with a normal deck and try to steal all of the orbs and what are they called, power wells of all of my you know, friendly, I guess friendly people, you know, the guys I play with, the 4 people I play with, or the 3 people I play with. And I think that's a pretty nice idea. I think people are gonna get mad at me, the people I play with, but I mean, I just want to do it for laughs, I think, and that's going to be probably a video I'm going to post as long as you guys are okay with it and as long as you guys want it on my channel. If not, then just leave some suggestions. I'm always open for new things to do on my channel, because I want to keep it fresh. And I want to post more BattleForge videos, that is for sure. I definitely do have a blast playing this video game. And also on a side note, I bought a lot of BattleForge points, so I'm trying to get my charge upgrades up and my my different decks. I really want to have a deck of every color and every combination possible in the game. Now, I'm not saying that I'm going to have the best cards for each and every color. I just want to have a deck for each and every color with decent cards so I can, you know, mix it up a little bit, because this game tends to get a little bit boring when you just play with the same thing. And so that's kind of what I have on my I don't know what to call it, on my agenda for this game in the next few weeks. I'm trying to keep BattleForge on a week or on the one video per week schedule, because I feel I think that's the best sort of schedule for this kind of video game. But I'm also trying to mix it up and posting Trials Evolution gameplay on my channel, because I don't have a gameplay, not a gameplay, and a capture card anymore, so I can't capture console gameplay anymore, and I want to play Trials Evolution on my computer and use that as a backdrop to my commentaries, which I hope you guys are going to like. And so that's pretty much it, I guess. We're almost done with the gameplay, and there's not much to commentate about right now. As you guys know, when you're playing BattleForge, at the end, it's kind of like just like a generic thing, you know. There's not much going on, as long as you're not playing Lost Souls. If you're playing Lost Souls, you're always going to have a a little bit of a trouble, especially at the end, I think. But with different factions, or with different, genres such as Stonekin, Bandits, and with Twilight, it's not that hard, especially if there are other people helping you. But I'm actually having quite a little bit of trouble right now, even though I bragged about how difficulty 9 is easy when it's not Lost Souls. I'm actually having a little bit of a trouble, so that's kind of weird, I guess. But if you guys like this video, like and share it with your friends on Facebook and on Twitter. Make sure to spread the word out. BattleForge is not dead. We are definitely still playing it, and I hope to see more people online on this game. Subscribe for more content, and make sure to check out some of my other videos. You know, I don't always post BattleForge, but I do post some other commentaries with Call of Duty gameplay, where I talk about different things. It's not always about Call of Duty, it's about life topics some of the time too, so it's not boring for those of you guys who don't like Call of Duty. But anyways, guys, peace out, guys. Peace. Have an awesome day, and stay tuned for more. Peace. Well, now that we actually finished the commentary, for those of you guys who haven't tuned out, these guys over here are scrubs. I thought they were actually done defeating the base, but it seems like they are not done, so I'm just gonna be here with you guys for a few more lovely seconds, but after that, our relationship is done. Done like motherfucking done, bitch. I know I'm so graphic right here, but these guys have scrubs. They should have killed this base. But anyways, guys, peace out, guys. Peace. Now it's done. And so, peace.